Everyone, welcome to another Narc Survivor live video. In this one, speaking about when a narcissist starts to miss you. Because at some point, they devalued you, they discarded you, or they became so toxic to the point where you had to cut them off. You had to get rid of them because you just couldn't deal with them anymore. Or in some situations, they may have discarded you. But either way, after a certain amount of time, they can begin to miss you. Or at least when I say that they miss you, I don't mean that they miss you as a person. They never saw you as a person. They viewed you as an extension of themselves, as an object that existed to serve them and meet their needs. And that's all that really was. They were using you, exploiting you. It was never about you, it was all about themselves. But sometimes, or I should say a lot of times, they do start to miss you. And when that happens, they may come back, they may hoover you. They may text you or call you. They may even show up at your house or your work. And it's because since you've been away from them or since they've been away from you, they recognize that you've managed to move on, you've healed, you've improved things for yourself and your life. You've got your energy back, your happiness. And they want to come back and take that from you. They want to destroy it. Because you see, narcissists, they come back just to cause even more pain. As soon as they start to see that you're getting better. It's never about you. It's not because they love you, they care for you, they miss you as a person. It's not because of that at all. They come back because they want to take and destroy. And that's how when they do come back, they come back like nothing happened. They just expect you to forget about all of the things they did to you, the way in which they treated you. They expect you to forget about all of that, and they expect things to go back to normal. How things were before you caught on to what you were actually dealing with, before you began to figure them out. That's what they expect from you. And many times they're even gaslighting themselves. They don't even realize how much disruption they cause in your life, because they move on and then they create a new character for someone else. And everything that happens with you, they just leave all of that behind and forget about it. But despite that, it does haunt them. The shame continues to grow within them. They never actually move on, and that's how they come back. If they moved on, if they were happy without you, then why would they come back? Why would they start to miss you? But they do, because they haven't moved on. And they're not happy without you. They can't live without you. They need you. Because you provide so many things to them. You're a source of security, safety, and stability. You regulate their emotions. Maybe you give them money or a place to stay as well. You give them all of these things. You provide it to them. And these are things that they cannot live without. They may be things that they can't get anywhere else, so they have to come back and get that from you. So that's what happens when they start to miss you, is they recognize that something is missing in their lives. They have a void that even the next person is unable to fill. They can't fill that void like you used to, which is funny because They may have been flaunting their new supply on social media, acting like they're the best thing since sliced bread, and they're so much happier now without you. So they're flaunting that, but then it's only a matter of time until they then come back to you, until they then hoover you. They're texting you, they're blowing up your phone, they're showing up at your house. And at some point, it's going to make you think, if they were really so happy and they moved on with this new source, then why are they then coming back to you? How did things suddenly go wrong for them? And that's how you should know that it really is all a lie. It's just whatever happens in the moment. And they get you to validate it as well. When they're love bombing the new source, they're not just manipulating them, but they're also using it to punish and hurt you as well. It's meant to act as revenge because they feel like you rejected them, you didn't want them. Once you caught on to them, you figured them out, and it caused a narcissistic injury. So then they've got to punish you in return because they can't deal with those emotions on their own. But it's really crazy, the arrogance and the audacity of how they can just feel like they miss you and then return to you and act like nothing happened. They don't come back with an explanation for their behavior or why they left. They don't give you any closure. They don't give you any of that. They just expect you to figure it all out on your own. And they were never worried or concerned about what you may be going through. The anxiety, the depression, the hurt that you may have been battling. They're not worried or concerned about any of that because they're self-absorbed and they lack empathy. It's all about themselves. It's all about them just getting what they want from you. And then when you start to figure them out, you reject them, you confront them. Now they've got to get revenge, they've got to punish you. They go off with this new source because they see that as the next shiny new toy, the bigger, better deal. And then once they've used that up, they've drained them dry. Now they want to come back to you. Now they miss you. But a lot of times, you know, they really are just gaslighting themselves. They don't really miss you at all. But they have to convince themselves of that. They have to justify it in some way so that they can then return to you, this person who they have already manipulated and abused in so many different ways. They have to find some justification, some excuse for why they need to return to you. And as I've said before, they like to take on the traits of an empath. They like to act like they do miss us. They care about us. They want to be there for us when actually, no, they don't. It is all an act. It's done to manipulate you so that they can get back in with you again and use you for whatever it is that they want from you. But the reality is that they do not care about you at all. Just think about when was the last time they actually sat down with you and had a conversation, a normal conversation about your thoughts, feelings, wants and needs. They never cared about that. They never showed a willingness, a desire to learn and get to know you better. They never showed a willingness or desire to do that. And instead, it was all about them. It was all about their feelings and what they wanted from you. And you were just expected to fulfill this role, to fit into their mold and be whatever it is that they want you to be in that moment. And of course, as we know, their feelings can change from one moment to the next. So while they may need you to do one thing at one moment, then in the next moment, they need you to be something else. But also don't forget that they do compartmentalize people as well. So they may have assigned a specific role, duty, or task to you, but then for the news source, they assign something else. And typically the news source, the secondary source of supply, that's usually for fun, for amusement. And then with you, it's more as a source of security and stability. So it's predictable. It makes them feel safe and comfortable. And that's pretty much what that is. If you were the primary source, they use you as this person who takes care of them, their caretaker. And then when they get bored, when your supply begins to lose its potency, now they want to go out and have some fun with someone else because they compartmentalize people. But then, of course, because they can't be satisfied, at some point, that gets boring for them as well. And now they want to come back to you where they think it's more safe, secure, and predictable. And some of you who may be codependent or people pleasers, you may take them back in and you may feel like you are the parent to this child, to this toddler in an adult body, who often throws these tantrums and they fall over, they get a cut, they get a boo-boo, and then they need you to kiss it and make it better. And some of you, if you are codependents or people pleasers, you may feel comfortable with that, you may enjoy fulfilling that role. But that's only because you may feel like there's some connection there, as though maybe they actually care about you when you're doing that for them. When actually, no, the reality is that they don't. There's no connection there. They're just using you like an object, a tool. They're exploiting you. They don't care about you at all. It's not about you, it's all about them. And you will know that it's all about them because they never take an interest in your feelings, your wants, your needs, your goals, dreams, and ambitions. They never took an interest in any of that. They never cared. It was, it is, and it always will be all about them. And it will never be about you. It never will. But of course, at some point, when you begin to catch on, when you begin to figure them out, they recognize, wait a minute, this person is beginning to catch on, they're beginning to slip away. And that's how, when they put the mask back on, that act, it's all about persuading and convincing you that what you saw from them at the beginning, what you thought this was, what you thought they were, is real. And maybe you just misinterpreted something, you got it wrong. And actually they are a good person. They are loving and compassionate. They do care about you. Because now they've just had this magical epiphany. They come back with a fake apology. But they never actually go into depth and talk about what it was that they did wrong. They can't do that. They don't want to do that. They don't want to take accountability. They're just coming back to pacify you, to make you think that they actually care and they feel bad about doing what they did, treating you in that way, and now they want to make things right. Now they want to move on from that. when actually it's just an act. Because they're not going to move on from that at all. When they miss you and they try to come back, if you do give them another chance, it might be good for a few days, but then soon enough, things will go back to normal. They will become abusive again. They will go back to doing the very things that they said they would no longer do. Because it is a cycle of abuse. You've got the love bombing, the devaluation, the discard, and the hoover. And what happens is, when they start to miss you following the discard, and you let them back in, you accept the hoover, all that means is the cycle comes back around. The cycle of abuse with narcissists, it never ends. It keeps going. So when they discard you, and then you accept the hoover, yes, it may come back to the love bombing. Not always. Sometimes it will go straight to the devaluation. But yeah, sometimes it will come back to the love bombing, although it won't be as good as the first time. You won't see the false character at that same level as it was at the beginning, and not for as long, until it then goes back to the devaluation. And then they will just discard you all over again. Or they will push you to leave them. And then they'll come back and they'll hoover you again once they start to miss you. And it just goes on and on. On average, a victim of narcissistic abuse gets discarded 7 times by a narcissist before it's finally all over. So this cycle of abuse, it keeps continuing, it keeps repeating itself. You can remove yourself from the cycle, but they can't. That cycle continues for them for the rest of their lives. They just change people. So what happens is they love bomb you, they devalue you, they discard you. And then if they don't hoover you, or you don't accept their hoover, then they continue with the new source. They love bomb them, devalue, discard. Maybe they hoover the new source, maybe they hoover another old source, and then they love bomb someone else. And it just goes on and on. And many of them, they're almost always operating with 2 sources of supply at one time, sometimes more. Usually, when they're love bombing one source, they're devaluing another. So this just continues. But you can remove yourself from the cycle by going no contact, by leaving them behind and recognizing that they're in this cycle for life. They will always love bomb, devalue, discard, and hoover. But if you do decide to go no contact, be very careful, and I do advise that you speak to a therapist or coach first. You could book a session with me by going to my website, which is narcsurvivor.co.uk. Because we do have to be aware that these narcissists, they are predators. And when they come back to you, when they hoover you, they're really just preying on you again. They're looking for weaknesses, for something that you may be missing, a deficiency in something, and then that's what they will play on. They will target your weaknesses, your vulnerabilities, because that's how they get back in. And when they come back in, they're only looking to cause you more pain. because you already rejected them, you confronted them, you caused a narcissistic injury, and now they're coming back looking for revenge. They're seeking to punish you now. And if you thought the first time was bad, the second time is even worse. It just gets worse and worse the longer that you are with them. But yes, when they start to miss you, it's still all about them. It's not about you. It was never about you, and it will never be about you or anyone else. It's always all about themselves. They're self-absorbed, or they lack empathy. All they care about is using and sacrificing people for their false self. So yeah, be aware of that. If you see that the narcissist starts to miss you again, and if they come back with a Hoover, if you're finding this video helpful so far, please do hit the thumbs up button down below. I can see we've got 194 live viewers and only 6 thumbs ups. I'd really appreciate it if you can hit the thumbs up button down below, show your support. Thank you. And before I went live, I noticed something on YouTube I didn't see before. I could see that I've been tagged in quite a few videos. Or I don't know if it's called a mention. And I never saw these videos before. I didn't realize that some YouTubers mentioned me. But yeah, you can check all of these videos out on YouTube if you type in the search bar hashtag Narc Survivor. There's a few videos on there that I've just been watching. Got this one. Narc Survivor haircut. I don't know if all of you know, but I did have short hair before. It seems this video, there's comments on here from 2 years ago. So this was posted at least 2 years ago and I never saw it. I think he tried to replicate my short haircut. But yeah, it's cool. He's an attractive guy. He looks good. And I don't know if you remember this interview I did on Instagram with the 1804 show. This was a couple of years ago now.
Welcome to the 1804 show. It's chapter 2. I'm your host, Dollar Will, and this is episode 303. Yeah, I gotta send a shout out to everybody who support the channel, who support the show.
I think this was back when I was in the UK.
I'm been up. He's my
years now, and I've spoken to many people along the way, helped them through their journey. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, man, and like I said, man,
I will be doing more interviews again soon. Definitely with Narcissist Hex. I did an interview with him a few months ago. We will be doing another one soon as well.
How about you, because I just watched a couple of your videos, by the way, too. And I still, like, educate myself and stuff like that. You know, I still learn. I still, like, study. I still examine and stuff like that. And I wanted to ask you, was it, like, anybody that ever, like, contact you and just thank you for your work by any chance?
Yes, definitely. Every day I go through hundreds of emails and comments. You know, people say I have changed their life, or I'm the reason why they find me after 20, 30, 40 years divorced, the narcissist, or they cut off narcissistic family members. I do hear it a lot, and you know, it just reminds me why I started in the beginning was to do just that. You know, was to I set out to. Yeah, there's a lot of videos on there. If you just go to the search bar on YouTube, just type in hashtag Narc Survivor, you'll see all of the videos on there. How moving on really affects the narcissist. It's a short video. They will play it off. They will act like they don't care. But deep down inside, it's really bothering them. It's eating away at them. How moving on really affects. It's an interesting feature. I didn't actually see any of these videos before. I wasn't aware that I was being tagged in these videos. Oh, there's also this one. A Narc Survivor dance video. Hey, I like it. I'm with that. There's other ones as well. Dance videos, that's cool. You can see all of these videos. You just go to the search bar on YouTube, type in hashtag Narc Survivor. When you finally leave the narcissist fantasy world, you can end up feeling angry. This is one of my older videos. You can end up feeling strong annoyance, displeasure, or hostility. You may feel as though you want to get revenge on the narcissist. You may feel as though you want to hurt them or harm them in return for an injury or wrong that you had suffered at their hands. Even now, I still... you may experience stress, anxiety, or depression. I still go back and watch my old videos every day. This is a result of you being brought into the narcissist because world. Their fake world, or... It reminds me of some of the points I've made before in past videos. But it's nice sometimes for me to refresh on things that I've said before and to see, is it still relevant now and do I still believe in it? So I often look back at my old videos as well. And it's nice to see, you know, people are reposting them. This one had 3,600 views. I really appreciate it, the promotion for my work. As many of you know, I do work very hard on my videos. And yeah, if you would like to share my work on YouTube, please do tag me, Narc Survivor, mention me on it, and I will be paying more attention to this feature from now on, so that I can see when people mention me in these videos. Even if you just want to upload a little Narc Survivor dance video as well, I'm all for that, that's fine. I don't know if you know, but I did do some music, some songs, some Narcissist songs, which you can see on my channel here as well. I did those a few years ago with a rapper named Mali. Those were really great. And I also produced the music videos for those songs as well. So yeah, anything narcissism related, anything to do with Narc Survivor, definitely tag me on YouTube, mention me. If you want to edit my videos and promote them on YouTube, that's great. I support it. So yeah, I just thought that was cool. And it's nice to see. I haven't actually gone through all of the videos yet, because there are, I think there's around 2,000 videos with the tag Narc Survivor. So there's quite a lot on there. But it's just nice to see all of the engagement outside of just my channel. So yeah, that's really great. And if you'd like to see those videos and many more, just search hashtag Narc Survivor on YouTube, and you will see all of the videos on there. But yeah, as for when the narcissist starts to miss you again, it is just the cycle of abuse. They love bombed you, they devalued you, they discarded you. And the next stage of it is to hoover you. And once they've hoovered you, of course, it doesn't end there. It goes back to the love bombing sometimes. Whether it does or not, inevitably, it will then go back to the devaluation. And they will then discard you again. So be aware of that. When they hoover you, it's going to come back to the love bombing, devaluation, or it may just skip the love bombing and go straight to the devaluation. Be aware of that before you think about accepting a hoover, so that way you know what you're getting yourself into. But I get it, I understand it, I know what it's like, that when we accept these hoovers sometimes, we hope that it's going to get better. And sometimes these narcissists, they can make you believe that it will. They'll come back and they'll give you these fake epiphanies, false apologies. They'll act like they know what they did wrong. Some of them will even cry. They'll get on their knees. They'll make up this fake emergency and they need you there to help them. They've always got some kind of trick up their sleeve. So what you need to do is validate yourself. Remember what you went through. Remember how they treated you. Remember the things that they did to you. Remember all of that. Because that is the truth. What they're giving you is fake. They're giving you lies. They're manipulating you. And when you become aware of that, when you practice your self-love, you rebuild your self-worth, you put the focus back in yourself again, then you will be less likely to accept a Hoover in the future. Even if it seems like they're coming back, they've started to miss you again, you're not going to fall for that, because you remember what they did and you're already anticipating what they may potentially do if you do let them back in. So yeah. That's the message for today. And don't forget these Narc Survivor videos, the mentions, these sexy dances. You could see all of this by going to YouTube and searching hashtag Narc Survivor. There's about 2,000 videos on there, many of which I haven't seen yet. And also you can follow me on Instagram. It's Narc Survivor YouTube. I've got pictures and videos from my travels last year to Sri Lanka, which I'm uploading every day on there. Follow me, Narc Survivor YouTube on Instagram. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up down below. I appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Hit subscribe and click all notifications to be notified when I go live in the future. If you would like to book a one-on-one coaching session with me, just go to my website. It is narcsurvivor.co.uk. And if you would like to donate, you can go to my PayPal. It is paypal.me/narcsurvivor. All right, thank you all for joining me on another Narc Survivor live video. I appreciate you all, and I look forward to speaking with you in another live video very soon.